Hi everyone. In this video, I want to cover the important aspects of the final portfolio that you're going to be completing for English 300. This is a standard requirement for English 101 and English 300 at Washburn. So if you've taken 101 in the past, you'll be familiar with this requirement, though it's different, obviously, for 300. Um, the portfolio is two things. It's first off, it is an opportunity for you to revisit the work you have completed throughout the course and really think about what you've accomplished, what you think you still need to work on beyond the scope of English 300, and really where you've improved and gotten better. So it's on the one hand, it's an opportunity to reflect on the work you've done, which is pretty important given how quickly this course especially moves in 7 and 8 weeks. How much have you really worked on and um, done in that time, right? What have you accomplished in that window? So that's one thing. The other thing is that the portfolio is the representation of kind of the best work that you've done in the course. So it's really the exemplar of your work. So it's going to contain a lot of different elements that are going to help show me that and maybe show others that as well down the road. So the final portfolio basically consists of all three major writing projects. So you'll include a copy of the rhetorical analysis, the community-based argument, and the research essay. So all three of those major writing projects will be in there. You are required to revise one of your first two papers. You can only do one of the two. You need to revise either the rhetorical analysis or the community-based argument. You won't be revising both. The thing about this, though, is that there's an opportunity to, based on the quality of your revisions, boost up the grade on that first paper or second paper, as well as have this be a component that I'm considering when I grade the final portfolio. So, in other words, let's say you weren't happy with the grade you got on the rhetorical analysis. You have an opportunity to revise that paper, include it in the final portfolio. And not only will I look at that when I'm grading the final portfolio, but if the revision's really strong and I think you've taken my feedback and made a lot of good changes, then that could, say, boost up your grade on the first assignment as well. So it can be really beneficial for you in that way as well. So whichever of the two papers you choose to revise, you'll also be including a descriptive revision letter. When I say descriptive, I mean just that. Basically, it's a short letter saying, here's the feedback I got on this paper, and here are the different changes I made to address that feedback. So just kind of an overview of the changes you made. So the entire portfolio will be introduced by a reflective cover letter, and this is the only completely new element that you're crafting for the final portfolio. So I'll talk about the cover letter more in just a minute. But so you're going to have all these elements. You will have a cover letter, the three major writing projects with either revised paper 1 or paper 2. You'll include your research essay, and you'll have that reflective or that descriptive reflection letter, descriptive revision letter, sorry, as well in the portfolio. So this is really then you're going to put it all together and really going to provide evidence to me that of what you've done in this course, of the progress you've made and the work you've accomplished in a really short amount of time. So on the assignment sheet, if you're looking at it, which you hopefully should be while watching this, you'll notice there's that list of course goals. There's 8 of them. I'm not going to go through them all here, but what you're doing in the portfolio is ideally showing me that you have made progress on each of these. So you want to provide evidence of how you've done things like conducting sophisticated research, how you've grown at and progressed with using academic writing conventions appropriate to upper division work, things like that. So now, one thing that you'll see as well, it is both in the template that is available on D2L, and I think there's a separate document I've included as well. If you just want to do it separately, you can. Is a portfolio permission slip for English 300. So what this is, it's just it's a slip that says whether you would like to provide permission to the English department, whether they can use your portfolio or not for future research. And just a little bit more on that. So what that helps us do, if you choose to participate, and it's totally optional, it's up to you, you are not graded in any way on whether you participate or not, but if you choose to participate, it helps us down the road look at what in 300 where we see our students succeeding, what things we can think we can focus on more and really get better at. So it's just an opportunity for us as a department to really look at this and say, all right, what can we do to get better, right? What have we done well? What can we say we're doing this good on these elements, but we're doing not as well on these elements. So that's just helpful for us. If you choose to allow your portfolio to be used, if you provide permission and complete the form and say yes, when we look at that portfolio down the road, it won't have your identifying information on it. It will be long after you have completed the course and gotten your grade. So nobody's going to say, oh, just kidding, we're changing your grade. Nobody's going to sit around saying, oh, I know this student. So they won't be able to tell it's yours at all. So, and again, that is totally up to you whether you choose to participate or not. It is definitely helpful for us. And I would encourage you, but I'm not going to grade you harshly or negatively or at all if you choose to participate or not. So that is just an option up to you. But you do need to include that slip in the portfolio that you're submitting. Either way, just to say, yes, you agree or no, you don't. So the different elements, so you're going to have a cover page that's descriptive. And if you look at the template on D2L2, you can kind of see I've offered just a general template where you can cut and paste a lot of your content in. So the reflective cover letter, like I said, that's the one new thing you're putting together for this final portfolio. And it is what it sounds like. It's a cover letter basically framing the rest of the portfolio for us. And for me especially, right? And you want to use it to highlight, hey, here's the things I think you should really be looking at and focusing on when thinking about the body of work and what I've accomplished in English 300. So it needs to be at least 750 words. It's going to lead off the portfolio, and really it should hit those 4 points, right? Tell me what you've accomplished this semester or in this course throughout these 8 weeks, what challenges you've struggled with, but you think you've improved on regardless, where you think you could still grow or improve as a writer down the road. Right? So the whole idea of writing as a process is not that you walk out of one class and are magically a master writer. You're continuing to work at that. So what is it you still need to work on moving forward? And then also, what should I, or if you share your portfolio with the department, what should others be looking at, really paying attention to when they look at your portfolio? What are the things that we should really be focusing on? So the other thing is that revision letter. It is just a 400-word type description, basically saying, here are the revisions I've made on either the rhetorical analysis or the community-based argument. Descriptive, lay out the changes you made, the feedback you're responding to. So again, just I want to emphasize that you have the option to really bring up the grade on one of your first 2 papers if you feel you didn't do well and you want to improve on that. Now that's not guaranteed, right? So if you don't make a lot of changes, if you just fix a couple grammatical things, that's not really going to boost your grade. But if you put in some effort and it's clear you've made a lot of revisions and looked at that feedback, right, that can really bring that grade up. So in terms of formatting and submitting the portfolio, you're going to submit this as one single document. And that's what the template on D2L is available for. So you don't have to make one yourself. But the layout is there. So like I said, the first page will be a cover page with the information of provide your name, the title number and section of the course, my name, the date you're submitting, and then a title for your portfolio. And then the second thing should be the reflective cover letter. The third thing should be that completed portfolio submission slip. And then a clean, unmarked copy of your 3 major writing projects. And what that means is, so whichever of the 2 papers, let's say you revise the rhetorical analysis, I just want the new clean copy of your revised rhetorical analysis. Don't include both the draft you originally submitted and the revised draft. Just submit the revised draft. Make sure you've taken my comments off. If you've gotten comments from other people in the peer reviews, anything like that, make sure all of that extra stuff is taken off the draft before you put it in the portfolio. Or if you're going to revise the second paper, same thing there. So the revision letter should then follow either the rhetorical analysis or the community-based argument, whichever of the 2 papers you're revising. It should just follow immediately the paper you chose and revise. And then the last thing in the portfolio will be the research essay that you've just been completing over the last few weeks. So all the elements of the portfolio should be in APA format. It should be formatted consistently throughout. So that's one of the things to go back and do, is make sure it's all in the same font, 12-point Times New Roman Calibri. It's all double spaced. There's 1-inch margins on all sides, and you're following all the necessary guidelines. So as I touched on in the video introducing the research essay, so the final portfolio is 30% of your course grade. A significant portion of that, about 20% of that grade, is the research essay element. But the other 10% is the reflective cover letter, the revised paper 1 or paper 2, and then just looking at the portfolio altogether. Right? Have you done a good job of putting it together? Did you put in time and effort in formatting it? Does it look nice in terms of presentation? Are all the elements there in the order they should be? Things like that. So we'll have a couple of days, devoted this last week to you being able to work on the portfolio. There'll be different documents with tips available on how to write or on how to do stuff for the cover letter or the revision aspect, things like that. So be on the lookout for that. And as always, with the portfolio, if you're confused or you have questions, let me know. I'm here to help out and do whatever I can. So feel free to send me an email, set up a time in the conference. Remember, if you haven't yet done so, you need to set up a one-on-one conference with me, and now is the perfect time to do it. So I look forward to seeing what you come up with in these portfolios. And once you're done, congratulations on surviving a pretty intense 8-week course. So let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing your portfolios when they're done.